How to become a great leader. Do you dream of becoming a great, successful leader? I'm sure you do. It's the wish of every one of us. Don't you think so? Today is a great day. Now, you must be wondering why. Well, today is going to be a great turning point in your life, bringing you more leadership, happiness, and success. Do you want to become a leader? And a great one at that? Well, who doesn't want to? Am I right? It's surely the wish of most of us to become a great leader and a highly successful person on earth. Now, the question is, can anyone become a leader? Well, if you work seriously and practice regularly, why not? Every great leader you see today was in the past like every one of us. Don't you think so? They spent their childhood more or less like us. They went to school like us. They studied in college or university like anyone else. But they became special. They became a great leader. They became extraordinary. How did they do that? Anyway, if you want to become a great leader yourself, you most certainly can. But how? What are the requirements exactly to become a leader? Well, you just have to adapt the formulae of highly successful people. Are you ready for the successful formulae of the successful people for you to become highly successful in your life? Well, let's get started. Number 1, communication skills. If you analyze the characteristics of any great leader, you would immediately notice what great communicators they are. From former United States President Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Winston Churchill and Tony Blair, civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr., former Prime Ministers of India Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi are a few examples of great communicators. The way they speak has a great impact on the audience. You can find similar communicative abilities among the chieftains of corporate companies as well. In business, proper and regular communication promotes good employee relations and efficient practices across the organization. The importance of communication needs to be understood and realized in every relationship, especially in the workplace where it would certainly benefit a superior-subordinate relationship greatly. Communication is the key to promote a smoother and more efficient workflow. It avoids any misunderstandings and any possible problems that might arise. A great leader needs to appreciate the value of communication, and he can do this by first, communicating with clear, simple, and straightforward terms and ideas. He could choose to explain himself again if he finds it necessary. And second, by listening to the other person who is trying to communicate. Because communication is not just a one-way road. It requires both the parties involved to be fully engaged in the conversation. So, how exactly do you communicate effectively? Well, you make yourself understood by using clear and simple words and by speaking your mind freely, because mind reading is not a skill everyone is born with. And you should also engage yourself fully in the conversation when the other person is trying to communicate to you by keeping your ears and mind open. Number 2, empowerment. Whatever the personal abilities and capabilities you have, could you possibly do all the work by yourself? I'm sure you'd agree that you most definitely can't. In fact, no one can. So, what exactly is the way out? Well, you should train your team, your workers, your staff, your followers. Train them to do exactly what you expect from them and empower them in the process. Be self-confident and repose confidence in your team by empowering them with decision-making capabilities. Delegate the authority and repose trust in them, and have a rewarding system. You will get great productivity and amazing results. The biggest business corporations in the world, such as Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola in America, Sinopec, China National Petroleum, State Grid, and Alibaba in China, Royal Dutch Shell in the United Kingdom, Samsung in Korea, Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, and Sony in Japan, Saudi Aramco, SABIC in Saudi Arabia, Reliance and Tata in India. How do they manage such big business conglomerates? By empowering their directors, managers, and officials. That is the only way out. Don't you think so? So, how exactly do we do this empowering? How can someone empower someone else? Well, it's absolutely simple. You just have to appreciate them. Show them their worth. Make them realize and see for themselves what great potential and power they have in their own hands. Let them feel like they can handle any problem head-on. And you do this by constantly telling them that you believe in them, that you want to see them become the best, that you can see how far they've come from what they were on day one. Motivate them by supporting them and being by their side. I'm sure this sounds like such a demanding and effort-consuming task. Surely, doing all of this to empower every single one in your team will be such a tedious chore. But believe me, it will all be worth in the end. Every single minute you spend on empowering your team, you will see its benefit surely and soon enough. You will see your team turning into a confident, self-dependent, and self-assured team who carry on all the tasks effortlessly and with so much of efficiency. Number 3, engagement. Today's business organizations face a dynamic and challenging competitive landscape in an ever-changing world environment. I mean, change is pretty inevitable, wouldn't you agree? The ability to attract, engage, develop, and retain employees is critical to success for most organizations. Would you say that highly trained, engaged, and high-performing teams are the foundation for creating competitive advantage? Well, research has regularly demonstrated that when employees feel empowered at work, it is associated with stronger job performance, job satisfaction, and commitment to the organization. Now the question is, how can you consistently create and support high-performing, engaged employees at your organization? Well, you can start by inspiring your followers to unleash their passions and talents around a shared vision and a common goal. Do you know something? Every human being is a social animal. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? People need social engagement and interaction. Keep engaging them by regular interaction and reward system. Give your personal touch to every task assigned by following up with them. Let there be a weekly audit of work done and announcing the winner among the staff or followers. People long to be seen and heard. When your team sees that you're observing everything, you're taking a note of all of their actions, that you follow up with them and keep yourself updated with everything on a day-to-day basis, they will find themselves being alert on the job and trying their best to execute their tasks in a very fruitful and productive way. Number 4, influence. Influential leaders at every level in every organization cultivate a particular set of skills to enable them to move through the organization faster and influence their subordinates positively for the productive good of the organization. Whether you're leading a big corporation, company, or a country, often the focus is on leading other people in the right way. What type of influence you have on those people you're leading is very crucial for the success of your leadership. If you lose sight of your strategy, focus, development, or if there is any compromise in the standard of work, values, and beliefs, then those compromises will show up in the work environment and in your relationships with others. Persuasion and positive influence sparks motivation and higher productivity among your followers. Influential leaders consciously, positively, and proactively cultivate their personal brand and reputation among their employees. An influential leader is a trustworthy agent transforming their followers with his proactive clout. Employees approach him to guide them and find solutions for the problems they face in their work. Leaders like Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Mother Teresa had a great influence among their followers, and even today they enjoy great respect. So be a good role model. Let people look up to your actions and let your work speak your ethics and what you believe in. Practice what you preach. Avoid any sort of hypocritical behavior that might tarnish your reputation. Set an example to everyone of how one must deal with certain things. Number 5, adaptability. It would be so easy to lead perfect people. Don't you think so? But where are the perfect people? The reality is that there are none. No one is perfect. People are going to make mistakes and fall short of your expectations somehow or the other. A great leader needs an exceptional level of patience to lead people. So, be adaptable to the changing situations and newer challenges that come up every now and then. A good leader never takes a rigid stand to show his authority. Do you know that leaders all over the world today are facing constant change and complexity, including new products, new fashion, new cultures, new jobs, new markets, and new competition? So, a leader requires the ability to adapt to these changes and adjust to the new conditions. Adaptable leaders see change not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity. Adaptable leaders have flexible ways of thinking. Having an elastic cognitive approach allows leaders to use different thinking strategies and mental frameworks. Deepening awareness and perspective help leaders to understand how they think, how their team thinks, and how their customers think. Question your thought patterns and ensure you're approaching with an open mind, exploring everything from all angles. Do you know you need to relax your mind to be a good adaptable leader? Give yourself some freedom to step back from rigid processes and analytical thinking. Allow yourself to play with the idea of a new paradigm or thought. Also, examine your emotional flexibility. Practice reflecting on your own emotions and those of others. Vary your approach of dealing with others' emotions. Number 6, transparency. If you are transparent, you actually strengthen your leadership as people begin to trust you as a person and will respect you more as a leader. Honest and straightforward operation engenders trust, builds strong relationships, and drives higher performance. The most important trait any employee can expect from a leader is honesty. The people who follow you want to know that you have their best interest at heart as a leader. High-handed behavior of some managers showing their authority and lack of respect for their subordinates keep employees in the dark. As a result, it gives them a sense of distrust towards leadership. People always want to be told the truth. If you want to become a great leader, you must be an honest person and keep your functioning transparent to gain the confidence of your followers. Transparent leadership allows employees to be more honest about their individual viewpoints and more open about expressing them in a public dialogue, and also to their superiors. The more openness and honesty you implement in your team, the faster the ability to work together and achieve your common goal. Number 7, empathy. Do you know a person showing power and authority can't be a great leader? Be an active and caring listener instead. Kindness can make all the difference in your leadership. Your kindness, humility, and care for others' attitude will boost great confidence among your employees and higher productivity and team morale. Do you show kindness to those who follow you? Do you communicate to subordinates with a humane voice? The skill of leadership also depends upon your ability to know when and where to speak and how to speak. So, how exactly can you show empathy to others? Well, apart from being a very patient and active listener, a great leader needs to empathize and put himself in the shoes of the other person. He needs to try his best possible attempt to comprehend and wrap his head around what the other person is really feeling and wanting to express. This quality of being empathetic is appreciated by everyone. Your team will feel important and understood. They will feel like their existence actually makes a difference to other people's lives. Especially in the workplace, when a superior goes out of his way to recognize the problems and difficulties that a subordinate goes through, it overjoys the workforce and makes them respect you even more. Your place gets elevated in their minds. Number 8, innovation. The world is changing. New things keep coming in every single moment. Change is inevitable, even if you don't like it. Technology and ongoing skill acquisition are critical to persistent professional relevance. So, be an innovative leader. Encourage creativity and innovation. Deviate from the routine and support new experimentation and learning to give a newness to your leadership abilities. Have an open mind to learning and adapting new ideas and techniques. Being innovative doesn't just mean adapting to change yourself, but to encourage your team and workforce to join with you in the learning process. Encourage workshops and other educational sessions for not just the benefit of you, but also the benefit of your team. Small efforts like arranging such educational sessions really makes a difference in the work environment and creates a vibrating, positive atmosphere for everyone. When everyone learns together, there is a higher excitement as opposed to when someone learns something new on their own. This not only encourages innovation, but also team building and other original ideas from your team. Number 9, lifelong learning. Once we get the job, most of us incorrectly think that learning any further is unnecessary and put an end to knowledge acquisition. What do you think about this? If you stop learning, how will you keep in touch with the world that is changing every single second? Be a lifelong learner to continuously acquire new knowledge and sharpen skills. John Coleman's Harvard Business Review article urges us to make learning a lifelong habit and to use Theodore Roosevelt as a model. Roosevelt was what we might call a lifetime learner. Learning became a mode of personal enjoyment and a path to professional success for Roosevelt. Number 10, problem solving. Do you know what is the most important essential quality an employee expects from his leader? Well, it's help in a critical situation. Whenever the employee faces a critical situation or problem, they expect their manager or leader to step in to resolve that issue, or at least help to resolve that issue. Giving a helping hand in solving the problems whenever your employees face any would place you in high esteem. Many a times, certain leaders scowl and show a displeased face when a problem is brought forward to them. They also don't hesitate to verbally express their dissatisfaction. This makes your team hesitate and think twice before coming forward to you to discuss any problems that might have come up. Certain times, some employees might even hide it from you and try to problem control the situation on their own without your knowledge. Learn to deal with the situations with a calm and composed mind. The solution is to find a solution, not to find out who did the mistake or how. Sit down with them and verbally communicate on how you can overcome this problem. If you follow these 10 great steps, you will become a great leader from this very minute. Why don't we have a quick recap of what we discussed so far? These are the 10 golden principles to become a great leader. They are: number 1, empowerment, which means empowering others. Number 2, communication skills. Number 3, engagement. Number 4, influence. Number 5, adaptability. Number 6, transparency in your approach. Number 7, empathy. Number 8, innovation. Number 9, lifelong learning. And number 10, problem-solving skills. To reinforce your learning of leadership, here is a quick question for you. What are the 10 great golden principles to become a great leader? List all the 10 principles in the comment section below, and also let us know your thought, reflection, and experience about leadership by commenting below.